good morning. Hope everybody's having a good summer. Here it is, end of July. I can't believe July is almost over. It's been a busy month for us. We took a break and went camping and had some friends and family in town the end of July. So I feel like I've taken a break from the gardening, but everything's really growing in, and I kind of wanted to show you a little bit of what I have going. Each year when I'm planning my vegetable garden, I try to figure out a new veggie or two to try that year. Something I haven't grown before, something new and different. This season, I decided to grow a few new things, and I kind of wanted to show you how they're coming in. One thing that's so fun about trying something new is because you get to see how it grows off the plant. I planted okra and celery for the first time this season, and I've never done that before. Kind of fun seeing how these flower and then turn into pods, and learn about how to harvest them and see when they're ready to pick. So let me show you what I planted back here. So right here in the front portion of this bed, this is all celery through here. I started these all from seed in my windowsill in my little seed starters with a grow light in March, and I did a whole tray of these. I might have gone a little bit overboard on my celery. I mean, we like celery, but I'm not sure if we like it this much, so I might be giving some to neighbors and friends. But it's cool to see it growing in, and it's just kind of like overtaken this whole section. So I wanted to kind of show you the stalks. So here you can see how these plants really are turning into what looks like celery stalks. And I've been looking online. It says it takes 80 to 120 days for these to be mature and ready to pick. I didn't plant or transplant my seeds out into the garden until about Memorial Day weekend. So I am thinking of harvesting these more like August to September and really letting these mature and get a little more thickness and diameter in the stalks. I mean, some of these are really looking close, but I think it says about like 2 to 3 inches diameter in the stalk. I took a couple of these off yesterday, and they're already tasting really good, so we may harvest some early, but I think I'm going to try to wait and hold out on most of these. The other plant I'm growing this year is okra, and these are kind of like covered by the onions I've put in between these plants. But can you see this? This is my first okra that's actually growing on here. I actually think it's time to trim it. From what I'm reading online, you don't want to let them get too big, so I'm actually going to cut this one off. But what's interesting is, and this is what I love about trying to grow something new, but what's interesting is seeing how they grow in. So you can see there's this little flower that forms on the okra plant, and then this blooms and then turns into the little pod. So this is the pod now that's ready to harvest. I actually have 2 now, it looks like. I have 3 plants, but I have 2 okra that are ready to trim. So I'm going to just cut this off. Here's my first okra. Sterling will be excited about this. He's the one that likes okra. I don't love it as much, but I thought I'd give it a try this summer. And then you'll see over here, I have one more that's ready to cut. So here's my second okra. I've definitely overcrowded this area a little bit. You can see I've got some beets in here. I put onions in between these peppers and my 3 okra plants. So I have this okra, this one in the back, and then this little guy right here, which I'm not sure he's going to do so well because I have probably so much crowding around it. I may pull some of these beets out. I'm always somebody that likes to maximize the space here, and I tend to overcrowd each year. But I feel like things like beets and carrots and onions, you can kind of like plant in and around some of these other plants that I have. This year I also decided to try Serrano Peppers. I planted a lot of tomatoes this summer, so I'm hoping we get lots of tomatoes and I can make some salsa. And I just wanted some of my own peppers to spice that up. You can see these are starting to come in. I actually have a lot of them here in this plant, but I need to figure out how big to let them get before I start to pick them off. I have a feeling I'm going to have way too many peppers. Okay, now let's walk over here to my vineyard, as I like to call it, my 4 Grapevine Vineyard. It's small but beautiful to me, and it's starting to grow, and I couldn't be more excited about it. I planted these in May, and put them in these grow tubes, and it took forever for these to start coming outside of the grow tubes. You can see this one is really starting to get tall. So this weekend my project is to take it off of these just little standard garden stakes and install more of the trellis that we want to put here for these grapes. So I'm really hoping we get some growth over the summer, because when we do put our hot tub in this fall, if these are all lush and flourishing right here along this line, it's going to be a beautiful backdrop for us to sit next to and enjoy the hot tub. And lastly, I wanted to show you my horseradish. I'm not a big horseradish person, and my neighbor down the street decided to give me some of his plants. I actually have one here and one here. And when he dug up these roots and gave them to me to plant in my garden, they smelled so fabulous. And he says he cooks with them and does other things. So once this, I need to do some research on how to harvest this, but once this gets really going, I'm going to figure out some recipes to make with this. I know there's some like herbal kind of medicinal health benefits of this plant, so I'll be doing some research, and I'm kind of excited to see what I can make out of this. Well, thanks for letting me show you what I have new in my garden this year. I hope it inspires you to plant something new the next time you're getting ready to plan your vegetable garden.